direct benefit which is there, that has got changed now. Earlier, we used to have this, government used to give a pension to the people there. I can see one or two people who are there who may be the government employees who still enjoy that facility here. But that has also stopped in 2004 or something, where it was a benefit kind of a thing. Today, you have to contribute. So whatever you contribute, you get that. Now, that is the biggest change. So that's why they have come out with a scheme called the NPS, or the National Pension Scheme, where whatever you contribute, you will get that. But the older generation who had the benefit, derived benefit, was people still go to the hospital, they can get the medical care, they get the pension. When there's an inflation, CPI, then their pension increases. All that is gone. All that is out. Another 5 years, you will not find any of those kind of people. On 10 years, you will not find those people. So that's where it is. Third is what you do yourself. What you do for yourself, or pensions. Now, that pension is what we need to contribute, and then think about it. Another thing, whatever EPF is a good kind of a thing that I find, that EPF, if you start it when you get employment, if you start the EPF, and if you continue without dipping into it or without removing it, that could be a good investment. Healthcare is one very important. There are 2-3 things that I would tell you here. One is that healthcare cannot be neglected. Today, if you are hospitalized for 1 day only for observation or for investigation, it costs about 30,000 rupees per day. The insurance that you get is not sufficient. You need to take an insurance at a very early stage, especially not more than 50 years of age, because after 50 years of age, they will not give you a cover, and then you will have to, there will be a graded coverage for the insurance, medical insurance. Another one which I would get is a long-term care. This is something which I want to talk about, because this is something very new, which has come into India, where people I see around us, maybe all of you can, if you put give a little thought to it, you will understand it, that a lot of youngsters and people which you've not heard of are getting into long-term care. What long-term care actually means is not being hospitalized, not being able to work, not being able to do anything for yourself, but others need to take care of you. And that has to be taken care of at home. Home care, long-term care is a big issue which even the planners are not talking about in India, but it is again a major concern today. It's a major concern. And there is no insurance for that, or a limited insurance. This is a long-term. Sometimes there are people who are with dementia, people who are with stroke, who are living for 10 years, 12 years. They need a continuous care. It has a great impact on the women who are at home. It has an impact on the families at home. Where do you put your money for retirement? One method is that you put into 3 buckets. One is a short-term or immediate liquid kind of a thing, debt fund. Second bucket is for one which is a medium-term. Third is a long-term. And you keep moving from one bucket to another as you pass through the ages, through the stages. That is, the first year is over, money is over. Then you get from the second bucket to the first, and then from the third to the second. This is one method. But if you do the actual calculation, because we are not saving enough money, this is not a practical issue, practical solution according to me. The one that I would recommend is a mutual fund. We have done some calculation, and then this is an example just to show you that our company was started on 1st August 2006. That's why we've taken that date. If you had put 1 crore into a mutual fund, and immediately after that, that is the following month, if you start withdrawing at 9%, which is the highest rate of interest the banks have given in the last decade, which means that you make a withdrawal of 75,000 rupees a month in 10 years or whatever it is, you would have withdrawn about 90 lakhs. And that corpus would have grown after 10 years to 2,52,000. Now 9% is a very high rate of return. Withdrawal immediately from the next month, after that you have. This is the kind of return that you get. So it has to be a combination of the two and not be just into debt or into other schemes. After withdrawal at 9%. Now, these are all equity ones. But I'm trying to show that 1 scheme, 2 scheme, you may say it's a luck chance or whatever it is. This is the number of schemes that they have. Yes, 1 crore corpus has become 2 crore 55 lakhs after 10 years at a withdrawal rate of 9% per annum, which is equivalent to 75,000 a month. In 10 years or whatever the period is, you would have withdrawn 90 lakhs. For a living income solution, my recommendation would be to get into an NPS with an annuity and a mutual fund, the demonstration which I have given with an SWP. There are two reasons for that. One is NPS is a very good instrument. No agent or no advisor will sell you only because the commissions are not there. But you need to ask and buy. NPS, there's an annuity which is mandatory, which is about 40% or so. But the annuity rate will be very low, number one. Number two is that it is taxable. So a bigger vehicle or a bigger investment should be into a mutual fund with an SWP, which is tax efficient. NPS, because the cost is very low, you get an annuity. So that's how you create a balanced portfolio. So my analogy is of a bicycle where you need to keep balancing between NPS and the mutual fund. I'm running out of time, so I think I've come to the last slide, which says that don't underestimate small savings. The PF that you are contributing, please do not withdraw. That 12% employer-employee contribution itself is a very good starter. But maybe once you get an opportunity, you should get into a mutual fund or some high-yielding one at an early stage of your career. Power of compounding is very powerful. You can start it very early and then do it on a regular basis. Increase investment year on year. As you get your increment, as you get a salary, bonus, hike, keep increasing your investment towards the retirement plan. Third is that retirement corpus, get into that. Touch me not. The problem is that when you have a PF, we map it to so many other things. You say, retirement ke liye mere paas jo PF aane wala hai, I'll get the end of the service benefit. You forget about it. When you say, bachche ki shaadi karna hai, you said, usme se shaadi karenge. Then you said, I have to send my son to the school, US, usme se jayega. Everything is mapped to that one kind of a thing, because that is the only kind of a corpus that you are putting it away. So map your goal to the investment amount. That's my goal. SWT at bank rate, I've given you a demonstration of that. Borrow in child's name. This is something which all of us need to think about it, that borrow in child's name, never lend your money for higher education for the child. And generate a passive income. Passive income would mean that you could do something like, for example, you could have a consultation, or maybe if you are a specialist, do an implementation on a contract basis and get some income, so that try to increase the passive income so that at least the living expenses are covered by the passive income. Thank you very much for that. And if there are any questions, I can take it. Thank you.